Hello everyone, Lemonade here. I've been playing this multiplayer scenario for a while now and thought I should review it. I will explain the rules, maps, and factions, and then show some highlights from a game using this scenario. The setting for this scenario takes place in the Eastern Mediterranean during the 2nd century BC as Rome and Macedon looked to expand their power and influence in Greece and Asia Minor. While this was going on, wars would be fought in Syria between the Seleucids and the Ptolemaic Kingdom. It's filled with tons of interesting events and quests for each faction. If you have played this map before and don't need to see this, please feel free to skip ahead to see the gameplay. Economically, this scenario is very different from a normal game of AoE, with each player being limited to 30 civilian units each. The scenario makes up for this by having cities generate resources over time. Stone walls and gates, castles, Imperial Age, and mangonels are disabled. Scorpions, warships, and towers are limited for everyone as well. However, careening and dry dock are free for all factions. All factions have their own specific ways to win. However, everybody requires another player's land to be victorious, so there is no peaceful solutions to be found in this map. Allies can be changed at will, so trust no one. The two exceptions to this rule are orange and red, and teal and purple if they decide to form an alliance. Each person has their own spawn. Some may be balled up in the northern corner of the map, while others are balled by putting a unit on a Gaia flag in their base. There are units that also begin spawning by completing quests or by advancing up to Castle Age, but it varies between individuals. On islands of Crete and Rhodes, players can recruit mercenaries in the same manner as with the flags. Moving on to the map, starting from the north we have Tylus. Moving to the south we can find the Grey capital Suthopolis, home of the Thracians and Grey's base. Nearby there is the outpost of Byzantium. Turning left is the city of Amphipolis. Standing at the Macedonian border to the north is Byzura. Going downward there's the capital city of Pella, home of Philip V, the Macedonian king. Below that lies the pathway to Greece, Larissa. In Greece proper, Athens is controlled by Pergamon but can be taken by Macedon later on. In Epirus to the west, Apollonia can be taken by both Rome and Macedon early in the game. This is done by destroying the outpost and rebuilding it, but can only be done once. Across the waters in Italy, we find Tarentum, Rome's main base of operations. In Sicily, to the south, there is the city of Syracuse. Traveling across the ocean, going past the sea, we encounter the majestic city of Alexandria and its palace. Leaving there, we go to Jerusalem, with its temple standing overlooking the coast. Finally, in the north, is the last Egyptian settlement, Salamis, on the island of Cyprus. Paddling back to port, we find Tyre. Up north of there is Antioch, where Antiochus III is. Just outside of Antioch is Tarsus. Going past here, we find Miletus and Seleucus IV, son of Antiochus III. A stone throw away is the Roman allied city of Pergamon and its king Attalus I. Past there is the outpost of Abydos. Lastly, but not least, is the Pontus settlements of Sinope and fortified Amasea, with a castle overlooking it. Starting the gameplay, red is just short of a second arriving in Epirus before purple, who takes Apollonia and turns its towers against the Roman soldiers attacking it. In the east, teal uses his starting army to raid blue and kills many villagers. Green and Grey begin a feudal age naval battle between their two little fleets, and Green is victorious, who for now will have control over the sea between the two players. Purple begins his assault on the city of Athens, while Orange quickly moves its fleet to fight off Purple's. Orange sets up defenses to fight Purple's forces, but it isn't enough as Purple rushes in, claiming the city to be used against any form of resistance still left. Purple gives red and orange no rest as he lands cavalry in Syracuse to begin attacking anything he can find, including buildings, settlements, units, and possibly villagers. Green breaks through Gray's palisades, moving down south to fight his neighbor as the armies clash against one another. Although Gray has less units, they are stronger and tankier than Green's army, but they do not have ship support as Green does. But it's not enough, as Gray punches down all of the enemy forces with his hero unit and his hostiles, but is unable to destroy the ships. Purple continues to bring in more units to attack the red countryside, as red is growing increasingly unable to stop this threat. Teal upgrades the attack on his neighbor from a raiding to siege, as he's bringing in battering rams and scorpions to attack blue's forces defending the city of Amasea. The good luck Teal has had is not the last, as yellow and blue form an alliance, and yellow begins his own attack on Tyre, nearby Jerusalem. Following the conquest of Tyre, yellow's pharaoh arrives, taking control of the fleet located there, taking some strong longboats. Coming back with a vengeance, Gray returns with a fleet of fire ships to terrorize Green's ports. Green has begun a humongous siege on his neighbor to the south, arriving with a large army consisting of battering rams, bowyers, and longbowmen. Purple takes the city of Tarentum from red after driving Roman forces from the area. Despite yellow's advance on teal, he continues in the north to assault blue, attacking his castle with a group of elephants and battering rams. Nebetonian camels arrive in Teal's hour of need, as just nearby, yellow is beginning his own siege on Teal's capital in Antioch. A group of Teutonic knights arrive in Green's capital just in time to help fight off an assault by Gray from the coast. A weakened blue acquires support from Armenia, granting him an army to help fight his enemies. They are sent to relieve the siege in Amasea from Teal's forces there. The enemy soldiers, however, are quickly cut down by a combined force of Tarkans and Berserkers. Orange attacks Purple's flank, seeking to aid his ally in need, and he is able to destroy the town center, as well as kill off many of his cavalry. With his offensive on blue having stalled out, Teal is left to defend the city of Antioch with Antiochus III, but is quickly killed by a barrage of arrows in the city. Gray is unable to recover after the siege, and is taken over by his neighbor to the north. Purple lays siege to Syracuse, laying waste to the city, as Purple is now finally secure all of Italy. The last outpost Yellow needs is taken, as Antiochus III and his son is dead, so Yellow wins this game. That was the very eventful Macedonian Wars. Make sure to like and subscribe for more future content. Have a good day. Bye.